A very good afternoon to all of you. So today we are going to discuss the differential equations, how to form differential equations using the Laplace transform. So this is what I was about to discuss. The linear systems characterized by LTI systems characterized by linear constant coefficient differential equations. Okay. So this is very easy. Okay. Why it is easy, how we are going to form the equations, I will come to that part soon. But let's have a look at this. Consider an LTI system for which the input is xt and the output is yt, and the input and the output satisfy the below mentioned differential equation. It means that this differential equation is satisfied. Okay, it is a linear differential equation because the relationship of y with xt is there. The coefficient of y of t and dy by dt are constant, in this case 3 and 1. Okay, a very important thing that needs to be taken care of is that if we look at the differential equation very clearly, then we can definitely say that both y and x, the input and the output, are variable. They both vary as a function of time t. Okay, now we will apply the Laplace transform. We remember that on the differential it becomes s square ys minus sys, okay, minus y of 0. I think this is it. Okay, after that for this part it will be sys minus y of 0. Okay, clear? No, it is s square ys, then sy of 0, okay, minus y double dash of 0. Okay, this should be clear. This is how the differential equations are written as. Okay, so sys minus y of 0, and do remember this y of 0 is this y. This y is y of 0, because when we form s square y of s minus sy of 0, then automatically that sy of 0 becomes 0. It cannot be sy of s. Sy of s will be only once. So this will become y of s, this will become sy of s minus 0, and this will be x of s. Okay. Now hs can be obtained like this. Hs is y of s upon x of s. I think it is clear. And the system is hs equals to 1 upon s plus 3. Okay. Now the discussion part. I would definitely love to discuss this part because this is very important. Look at this. This then provides the algebraic expression for the system function. It means the transfer function of the system is provided here. Okay. But one thing is very important, and this observation is very important, that the region of convergence is not specified. This is only the transfer function. We have obtained the transfer function. Excuse me, I can have water just for a moment. But the region of convergence is not mentioned. Okay. Now, and I had already discussed that a differential equation merely can't relate an input and output. Yes, the relation given by the differential equation is basically an implicit relationship. Okay, and when once the differential equation is solved, then the relation that is obtained is an explicit relationship. Explicit means direct, implicit means indirect. Okay, so I think till this point I am clear that which kind of relationships are possible, implicit or explicit. Now, coming back to the concerned question that we are discussing. Now, if it is given, if the system is causal, then the ROC has to be right of the rightmost pole, and that is only possible. This system, have a look at this. I will use the cursor here. This system will be only causal when this term, in this term, the s is greater than -3. And if the system is anti-causal, then this real part of s will be less than -3. So the response for the causal system is e to the power -3 ut, and while that for anti-causal system will be minus e to the power -3 u of -t. Why is it anti-causal? Because now it is only totally on the left hand side. That's why it is an anti-causal system. Okay. Now, clear? Again, very important thing is that a RC circuit can also be related by using this is an RLC circuit. Okay, and we can get the transfer function of this RLC circuit, and this is a very famous equation. This equation is a very famous equation because when we obtained in network theory, I have known people who used to cram this line for a series RLC circuit, s square plus r by LC plus 1 upon LC, and for that parallel system it is s square plus 1 upon LC plus it is r by L now, so it will be 1 upon RC into S. That will be for parallel system. Even sometimes I had also crammed it, but this is how it is to be derived. This is the RLC circuit. Input is here and output is taken through the capacitor. And these are the governing equations. And when this equation is solved, then the corresponding poles and zeros can be obtained. Okay. One more thing. If RLC are all positive, and they have to be positive, resistance, inductance and capacitance cannot be negative. So the poles of system will have negative real parts and the system will be stable. So an RLC system is going to be a stable system. Yes, the poles are always going to be left sided. Okay. Now, suppose that the input is this, e to the power -3 u of t. The output is y of t, e to the power -t. Output is given by y of t equals to e to the power -t minus e to the power -2t ut. Now the system function can be derived very easily. Xs is 1 upon s plus 3, provided that real part of s is greater than 3. And the ys is 1 upon s plus 1, s plus 2, provided that real part of s is greater than -1. So we can conclude that Hs is nothing but ys by Hs, xs. Okay, so s plus so that expression becomes s plus 3 s square plus 3s plus 2. Okay, I think this is very clear. If you want some time to calculate, and you can calculate it. So now what will be the ROC? Okay, so ROC has three options. First is that it can be left of the pole at s equals to -2, it can be right of the pole at s equals to -1, and it can be between -1 and -2. So only choice that is consistent is that real part of s should be greater than -1, because Hs is causal. It is given that Hs is causal. So for a causal system, the ROC should lie in the right of the rightmost pole. Also the system are, both the poles are negative, so the system is stable. So also from the relationships we can conclude that this equation d square yt by dt square plus 3 dy by dt plus 2y of t equals to dxt by dt plus 3xt is the governing equation, provided that a very important thing that is missing, and I will like to share 10 seconds that what is that information that is missing. While writing this equation, one thing needs to be mentioned very clearly, and that thing is nothing but that the initial conditions are 0. The initial parameters are at rest. Okay, so if this condition exists, then I can straight away say that my system is causal and stable. Thank you for listening to this lecture. I will see you in the next class. Till then, thanks a lot. Thank you.